And welcome back to Central Valley Talk. I'm Mike Briggs. If it's Wednesday and we're in the 11 a.m. hour, it's the Artist and Author Show where we have people who do arts, people who write books, all these great cultural things that go on, not just in Fresno, but we're having guests from all over the world now because I don't want to say thanks to COVID, but because of COVID, we had to relearn things. So we bring in a lot of guests via Zoom from all over the world, especially the authors. We have a special guest today on Authors and Artists. An artist, halraines, the Parkinson's potter. Now, you're a famous potter now because I go around town and see your work and people are talking about you.
Well, thanks.
So welcome. And why are you the Parkinson's potter?
Well, first off, I do have Parkinson's. That's not something you play with because that's kind of a tough diagnosis for a lot of people. Mine, fortunately, has slow progression, so I'm really lucky. I still can have things controlled pretty much through meds.
Through medications?
Yeah.
Okay. How long has that been going on?
For about 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
So, and did you start potting after you learned your diagnosis or before?
It was after.
It was after. So,
Yeah.
so you had a diagnosis of Parkinson's, and is it therapeutic? Did you decide this could be therapy, or just something you stumbled into?
Well, that's a great question. It's turned out to be somewhat therapeutic in that you use, when you, well, not, I'll back up on that one. It is therapeutic in that you're using your hands and you're positioning your body in different ways and things like that, which is really good if you're going to keep Parkinson's at a distance insofar as possible. But I just thought it would be fun to do.
Fun to do. And it is fun.
Yeah.
And you're really good at it.
Thanks.
Okay, so now we have a video of you doing this.
Right.
I think, if you don't mind, we'll jump into the video.
Sure.
And then I have a million questions for you.
Okay.
You're about to watch a video by halraines, the Parkinson's potter.
Hi everybody, I am halraines. I do have Parkinson's, and if you see something here that you think you'd like to learn to do, I'd be glad to help you. So we have to begin just like every clay piece, compressing and getting it to stick to the vat. So once you've got the clay to adhere to the vat and you begin to throw it, like I'm doing here, you can see that you have to press and work with it. You want to anchor it to your body so that the clay doesn't end up throwing you. There are a lot of ways to open your clay. Most people do it with two fingers. They're pushing down into the center of the clay where they can bring those fingers together and start to pull those walls up. I just kept working with the clay, and you can see my hands are going back and forth. They weren't that fast in real life, but you can see that I pull the wall up, and then I was using this round rib. I got the clay too tired, and it caused that thing to almost crash. If you get in too big a hurry, realistically, sometimes it's easier just to start over, but I didn't want to do that with this one, so I just had to work slowly, tediously, until I got where I needed to be again. When you're working with pottery, you always got to check the thickness, okay? I checked the thickness earlier, but you want to do this because you'll have spent a lot of time and end up cutting through the bottom. Oh, so exasperating. I'm pretty close to finishing at least the interior part of the bowl, and I'm going to use underglaze to decorate. Okay, those of you who have followed me for a while know that underglazes are kind of like a first love, really. So I try to capture the spirit of the individual or the piece that I'm using, and so since my baby cat had beautiful bright eyes, bright yellow eyes, I'm going to use a lot of yellow. She was a tortoiseshell, and I know if you spent time with cats, she had a lot of beautiful tans and oranges and buff colors. Oh my God, she was so pretty. So it's all about me trying to capture her spirit as I'm making this bowl that's a memorial for her. I knew that I wanted to make a heart for her, just simply because she touched our hearts in so many ways. I'm happy with the heart shape. It came out really nicely. The thing I was thinking though, the thing that escaped my mind, was that she loved water. She would fall asleep with her head by the water bowl. She would be at the pool with her face in the water of the pool, drinking it. But this bowl, this piece that I was making for her didn't have that. So I had to make a water element to make sure that she was going to be honored as she truly was. She liked plants. She loved to be in little plants. She was a little cat herself, but she liked to be among the little plants. I wanted ways to be able to get the plants into the water, so I cut the bottom off. Could put succulents or little roses or argyberas in there, and so I've gotten this little memorial till it's finished. Basically, it's finished. It's a matter of putting it, where she's buried and putting her favorite plants in it. One of the places, she loved the climbing roses too. I have a really pretty bright pink one in the back, which is not far from where she is, so. Baby girl, this one's for you. Thanks for tuning in today. It's been a joy to be with you.
Wow. See, I had no idea. I mean, I never got to watch a potter.
Oh,
I mean, I think I would love to watch for hours and hours and hours. That was sped up a little bit, right?
oh, way bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge, vast amount. So,
And is that the one? Is that the finished product?
well, this is the one. It's finished in terms of where it is at this point right now.
Okay.
I would still do a final firing on it, but I've made pieces like this for other people, and some people want theirs fired, others just want them green.
Yeah.
So when they plant them, where it's going to be to mark a memorial place for for an animal. Sometimes I want them just unfired, and so when it rains or whatever in the process of time, it just kind of turns into a puddle of interesting color that'll stay there until you
Can I
dig
hold it
around
up for the
Sure.
camera a little bit? It's just, there's a hole, because it's made for a planter,
Yeah.
as a pet memorial, as we said. Just absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I get the green. I didn't know you called it that, but I have some pieces like that I
Yeah.
received as gifts from Arizona, I guess. The finish. I said, man, I really like the finish, but there's no finish.
Yeah, there is no finish at all. Actually, the first fire is called a bisque, which is where the clay vitrifies and gets hard. Which when you thunk it, it gives it a nice ring.
Yeah.
But my final firing for this would be using clear. So as the colors look kind of bright, but as you saw in the video, they're so much more intense.
Yeah.
Well, the intensity comes from the stuff being wet, and then the glazing,
Right.
sticks to it and turns it to a nice, bright, shiny piece, which you.
This
think
would
of.
be really bright colors
Oh,
if you
yeah.
glazed it. So
Yeah.
amazing.
So, and my wife doesn't want it, this particular one for her. I thought it was perfect, but
Yeah.
after my wife and I talked about it, she says, well, we weren't even talking about, Ginger's diagnosis and why she had to be put to sleep, and so I thought, well, maybe this hole would solve that problem because I could just place it, where she's buried, and then put it with,
plants.
with different plants that would have been right for her. And if you look at this guy, virtually all of these are succulents that can
Succulents?
be in the shade. They're all designed for shade.
They'll live in the shade very
Yeah.
well.
So these guys that are, pick up the red tones would be perfect in there. And some of these other ones with, the red accents would obviously be really pretty. And then these guys that are almost like pork and beans colored, they would be obviously gorgeous in there as well. So that was what I thought.
Yeah.
But my wife wanted one that was colored like her, she was a tortoiseshell. Beautiful little cat, bright eyes. And so I've made another one, and it is in the final stages of firing, so I wasn't able to bring it today.
Now, if somebody wants a pet memorial, would you do a commission?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'd be glad to even sit down with him, but they wanted to, choose colors that they wanted to work with, or maybe they wanted to do something other than the hearts.
Right.
I'd be glad to do that.
Now, this was spun, and I saw it on the video, I think, perfectly round, and then at the end, you just shaped it.
Yeah.
with just one little,
Yeah.
couple little touches, huh?
Just a little bit.
Right.
And basically, I didn't show it in the video, but when I was working, and I threw the cinder and I actually put the yellow spots in the middle.
Yeah.
Then it's a matter of basically just lining something up
Mm-hmm.
so you could go directly through the middle and even
Yeah.
the piece out.
Right.
So that's what I did.
Now, where are you doing all this? At home? You have a home studio?
Yeah, I do have a home studio. It's on Mainberry in Madera,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd also, be happy to work with someone there or even our shop. I'm part of Clay Mix Studio,
Right. Yeah.
and they can come in, and I think Ritzko charges $25 a day, as I recall, and that basically gives them opportunities to do pretty much whatever they want to do.
Now, where is this located?
It's right around the corner. It's on Abbey.
Yeah.
I want to say Caspian.
Mm-hmm.
Caspian is the auto place that's on the corner, and then I think it's maybe Tyler.
Yeah,
but
so I
it's
go by
right
there
around the
every
corner. Yeah,
And people can go there and rent the studio and
yeah,
do this. So can they purchase supplies there?
yes.
Okay, get clay, I guess.
Oh yeah, lots of clay.
What do you mean the clay was getting tired?
Oh, good question. One that somebody who's not a potter would would have if they hear tired clay. So basically, what happens if you work with something too long, whether it's people or clay,
Anything.
in this instance, they just get tired, and instead of holding its shape, it just kind of droops.
Just droops, yeah.
Yeah,
And what do you do for that? You said you could have started over, or?
yeah. I could have started over and just basically let this get a little tougher, firmer, whatever. Or you can use a torch, which is what I did, and a lot of potters do, to get the water, content out.
Out. You just hold a little torch to the
Yeah.
edge of it. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. So now, will you give lessons?
Well, I have done that in the past. I really enjoy that,
Yeah.
because you can see people's growth. It's
Yeah.
so much fun. And I'm a master gardener. I've done a plug-in for the home and garden show.
Yeah.
But on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, man, if you get a chance to go to the master gardeners presentations, wow, it's great.
That's this weekend, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And so at 2 o'clock on the 3rd, one of my friends, Richard Motes, is going to go into landscaping, hardscaping. He's done a gorgeous job on his home in Old Fig. So anyway, if you're interested in things like lessons or whatever, again, you can reach me through my email, halraines at halraines@sbcglobal.net.
Have it right there on the screen. In fact,
Yeah.
on your website, too, halrainespottery.com.
Right.
But it sounded from the video, you'll help people. They have a question, they can ask you.
Just ask, yeah.
Yeah.
And, anything I can do to help somebody learn a craft that I love,
Yeah,
I'm
that'd be
I'm
great.
in.
That'd be great. And it looks like anybody could do it. In fact, I would say this about Frank Sinatra. What Frank Sinatra did was make anybody think they could sing because he does it so easy. And watch you do pottery, I thought, anybody could do that. But I know there's a giant skill and learning curve. And
Yeah, it's just so much fun, though.
Yeah.
I think once you get started and get used to the idea that, okay, well, if I screw it up, it really is just dirt.
yeah,
It's dirt that's been worked and purified, but it's dirt.
it's just dirt.
It's okay. You can let it go. And you don't have to feel badly about it. Just, okay, get some more dirt.
Well,
Let's go
pieces
again.
break, don't they? I mean,
Oh, yeah, they do break.
yeah, not here, please. I don't have anything to do with it. Anyway, halrainespottery.com. Email halraines at sbcglobal.net. Anything else you want our viewers to know today, Hal?
No, just, get a hold of me. It's not necessarily easy to throw pottery with Parkinson's, but it also does give you advantages because you can make some beautiful work that other people are not going to be able to duplicate simply because their hands are not as shaky.
Right.
So you can give it texture that somebody else wouldn't enable.
Wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hal, for coming. We want you to come all the time because go to halrainespottery.com. We'll be back with more Central Valley talk right after this.